and this is our plan of attack.
Banks have become an essential threat to our democracy. So consider this justice.
Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, the #1 listener-supported radio station on the internet. Please help support this station so this battle can continue forward. Revolution Radio!
February is Heart Month. Every year for the month of February, to show our appreciation to Extendivite's faithful customers, we have a sale. If you would like to try Extendivite, now is the time to get a few months ahead and really give Extendivite the time to show you how it works. Most of Extendivite's long-term customers wait for this sale to stock up.
And we'll be right
People
with you,
and
sweetheart.
doctors tell us about the unbelievable improvements that they have experienced in their overall health, not just the heart. Extendivite wants you to experience the power of these herbs. Get a 4-month supply for only $115 for either the capsules or tincture. Please take advantage of this once-per-year sale and get healthy for life. To order, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com or find us on Amazon.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and freedomslips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Insanity runs in my family. Practically gallops.
No stems, no seeds that you don't need. Acapulco Gold is.
This is the most acid I've ever seen anybody eat in my life. Wow, man.
Fire it up, Holmes!
Why don't you get a job, Spicoli?
What for?
You need money.
All I need are some tasty waves, cool buzz, and I'm fine.
Welcome and thanks for tuning in to Revolution Radio. And now it's time for that feral hippie herself, an infotartic, esoteric, eclectic mix of the adventures of that feral hippie, Miss Mona Radler.
What are you people? On dope?
That was my skull! I'm so wasted! Make a move and the bunny gets it.
Dave's not here.
All right, Mona, it's all yours. Take it away.
Alrighty then, we are here at Adventures of a Feral Hippie, here at freedomslips.com, revolution.radio, and cosmicreality.net. I want to thank everybody who has helped us get through to goal, but as you know, we are listener supported, so keep them funds rolling in. The only way to get is to receive, so do us that favor. And don't forget we have the archives, and we have the heirloom seeds, and all kinds of other things that we have available. What happened? It's like I don't hear myself. Well, let me check this. Oh, here we go. Gosh, I was late. Anyway, thank you, Jeff, for holding. It's not always easy to not listen to things, but I'm sure you should have a great conversation with yourself.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, the reason why I did is because I do a show 5 days a week, and I bring out a lot of the things that I see that are called headlines. And so it gets a little weighs heavily. And after I heard your show with Cosmic Reality with Nancy Hopkins and Derek, I could feel your heart. I knew you were out there trying to be that smile for everybody. So I was being selfish because I wanted some smiles.
Well, I'm humbled and honored that you're able to feel and connect with me. That's amazing. I appreciate that. Thank you. And it's okay. We all need love.
Yeah, we do. But it's not always easy to find it or to know how to recognize the difference by the programming we've assumed was all factual.
Well, yes. It's a lot of deprogramming. Healing and transformation, big part of it is to dissolve the old program.
And how have you come to where you are at now doing that, assisting others to recognize their need to do that?
Big part of it is in my own evolution of healing and transforming myself. And it started from this crystal patches that we were talked about. So I talk about coherence. So these crystal patches brings a lot of coherence in spiritual aspect, mental aspect, emotional aspect, the energetic aspect in your meridians, in your chakra system, in your nadi system, in all bioelectrical and energetic system in the body, and it dripped down to the physical plane. So all this coherence, it is actually induced, it's more activated. So we have coherence within us. We just need to experience it. So my healing and my teaching is a matter of experiencing. So there is no doubt, there is no questioning like yourself. As soon as that you could connect to my energy and you could actually feel what is coherence. You feel it. And then what is the coherence will bring to your consciousness, meaning more coherence will bring up the mirror of the incoherence that you've been, the programming. So
can you explain the word coherence just for those who, because we've been taught one word which actually means another, and I would just like it in my mind, what is the classification that you're using of coherence?
Okay, coherence is it's like harmony. Imagine if we're going to a like a classical play, like an orchestra, and all the musical, let's say the strings and the bass the horn, they're all in tune, but they're not coherence. They will play in, let's say, missing like a half a beat. It will not sound great because there's a disharmony. So another term you could use of incoherence is disharmony.
Yeah, but you don't want to go there because you know that words create. I like the coherence part, and it is we've just had so much adulterated coherence that people, they don't recognize it's the five senses, well, six actually, if you want to include your etheric feeling, but
yeah.
And I it's kind of an interesting idea. And I know that it has to be factual, but there's so much fear that was put in front of being able to have you knowing yourself. Is there something that you do to help others recognize that that's what they're missing, is their inner power?
Yeah, it is actually quite basic. Everything starts from an alignment. So I would assist one to have all their aspects aligned. By doing so, it will increase their own coherence, so they could actually, quote unquote, feel the truth within them.
Yeah, some people think it's the tingling of the top of the head or the goose pimples and things like that, and I believe in that. But you're right, it is. It's like an emotional feeling of harmony, like you said, because you're in coherence. That makes good sense, and alignment isn't a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
Because it does radiate out to others, and when we do have the notion to recognize the ideal that you're allowed, because so many of our emotions and feelings have been inhibited because that isn't what the social structure would recognize.
Yes.
That's the scary part too. So do you travel all over, or are you set in one space, or how do you coexist with your mission?
I just go with the flow. Sometimes, people need help other places. I could be there in spirit or in the physical.
Okay.
And just like I didn't know I was going to be on your show, or even with Nancy and Derek. It just all of a sudden and just happens.
Yeah, the spirit does move us in mysterious ways, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But what brought you to this area to where you wanted to unconditionally make things a harmonic situation or occurrences?
A big part of it is my mental health background. I have 22 years in mental health. I work almost 20 years with insane criminals. And when you're dealing with a lot of heavy cases of quote-unquote mental illness,
psychopaths.
But then after you deal with all that and you actually self-reflect, so to a certain point we're all crazy to a certain degree. And let's say for whatever, whether the pop, the demographic or AANA, they call other people outside of their circle normie or normal people. But there is no such thing as normalcy, because normalcy here, if you go to a different part of the world, is very different. So the more I look at things and experiencing the evolution of myself, or actually it's more like a revolution if you really want to do your work. It's a soul revolution. It's not evolution.
Right.
You have to revolt against yourself, again, your own programming. You have to question yourself and do something about it, not just talk about it. So a lot of these so-called the Bible or the golden rule of mental health is this, and or this is this is that. It's a lot of them is actually still incoherence because a lot of people actually just projected a very small angle of views, So I was blessed being in the dark, part of all this dark side, because then the perspective is quite different, and when you're actually in them, in the dark, not just looking from the light through the dark, it's very different perspective, and the experience is different. So the amount of work, the type of work, what people and most even experts, thinking, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. A lot of them is actually just regurgitation and projection of other people BS.
Yeah, and Sigmund Freud screwed up everything.
Yeah, and other people's programming. So it's like programming on top of other programming, and
but it still all stems from fear.
Yeah, a lot of times it's from fear and limitations. So the fear trigger limitations,
and then they create victimhood. Boy, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. And you can't heal if you're in the victim mentality or victimhood.
So do you use any things like I've known people who have used tuning forks and besides the crystal, I guess it's geometry patches, right? Are they like
No, these are organic nanoscience patches. There's very specific very specific function. So it's not typical patches. These are biological nano-sized crystal patches. It's called LiveWave patches. These are my main tools. I use, other tools like the Shun Guide, essential oils and whatnot.
Cool.
But I created my own system in everything because, again, it's based on the coherence. So you sense things that are incoherent and you do things to make them coherent. By you doing so, everything is flowing better.
It's amazing how it works.
Yeah, and it's actually quite simple, but it doesn't necessarily always easy. For instance, let's say someone have issues with resentment, okay? Then I know that it would actually affect certain organs, and that certain organs will actually reflect or deflect the negative energy to other parts. So this is my basic teaching. If you actually dealing with any physical condition, whether it is an injury, any medical condition or physical condition, if you're only having physical modality, you're chasing your tail, because all cause of everything is in energetic and spiritual properties.
Right. Body, mind, and soul, or spirit.
Yeah. So, for instance, let's say if you have issues on your, let's say, gut issues, which is, 80-90% of people have issues with gut. And I could actually, map out where it comes from, whether it is from your mental programming or is it actually from energetic lens in the body that is affected by your mental programming. And eventually I would like to assist other practitioners to adapt my teaching because it's very effective and it's something that's already built in.
Well, it does make sense.
Yeah.
To treat all the bodies.
Yes.
But I cannot say it's always easy either, because we are stubborn as a human animal. We've been so habituated into our systems that it's tooth and nail to try to figure it out, even when you have the concept of how the universe works.
Well, that's the thing, my number one rule to heal yourself or to become more coherent is to get over your damn self.
Yeah, don't take life personally is what I used to always say.
Yeah, similar. It's basically same.
Surrender, man. You're not in control.
The illusion of control. It's funny.
No, it's been taught to us to think that what we've been given is the only facts that there is, which undeniably I know better, but only because I wanted to. I knew that things weren't correct. And just to see the way that things are, I like to hear a good story that, like the guy who lives in the house here, because I rent a room in a house, he got and saved money on his car insurance, and what they told him over the phone was going to cost him to get his license changed from Florida to North Carolina, basically went down another $100 and some. He has, just those little things that, see, you were better off not being in control because you just got yourself two heck of a deals, Not that I want to even play those games, but as life renders itself in front of us, I'm excited. I see dandelions sprouting in the yard. To me, that's the most exciting part yet today.
Interesting, because I was just mixing my dandelions in my sacred tea. I'm actually still drinking it right now.
Oh, it's one of those amazing herbs. See, I was an herbalist for 40-some years.
Wow.
But to get up here into North Carolina after living in Florida for over 50 years, that different territory, different mindset, different society, different everything. And then it's Asheville area, so all these youngins who think they're true hippies, are all taking hold. They read the tarot and the astrology, and they're the hipsters with the herbs and stuff. And I'm just going, I learned a big value that it is spirit more than the material physical that will save our asses through any of this stuff.
Yes.
And it's not always easy because there's so many things that are against love. And it's where it's a constant, I don't want to say battle. I don't even want to say a confrontation, because I will just stand in myself and smile real big and go on my way, because I'm not in any place to where I want to have any kind of disharmony. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
At all in the least. In society, I mean, I earned 3 degrees. And society has made it where they don't want those degrees anymore, even though that's what they taught me and what I wanted to do. And it's so changed that I worry and get concerned, but then again, I had to let that go too, because it don't do me any good, about what my granddaughter has to do to raise her son. Because so much is depleted, and it has been so adulterated that... But I was bringing on for good, but he's like, I want our new earth. I want to be out in the garden and petting deer and, playing with the hummingbirds, jeez.
Well, it will become that again. I feel it.
For what I know and what I've been taught and what I've taught myself mostly, because I taught survival in Florida because of hurricanes, things like that, just those simple moments that you might want to keep your head out of the sand, and people just don't even want to go that far anymore. Why aren't we a part of this living existence is what behooves me the most. Go ahead. You're my guest. You're supposed to be talking.
Well, it's a big part of it is, it's people would like to be comfortable. What most people don't realize, I call it complacency. So they kind of confuse the meaning of being comfortable and complacency. To me, I don't want to use the word negative, but complacency basically is very damaging.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how...
Even the beavers who dammed the flipping creek have water flowing through it.
Yeah. I mean...
Boundaries aren't bad, right?
No, it's there for a reason. And if you look at nature, they're all moving. It's nothing stagnant. Nobody's complacent. I mean, the little snail is moving as slow as it is, but she's moving,
I love life so much. And it's been not easy to feel the way of missing the things that I knew that were there. But I do have hope that, yes, we can make changes. I just want to make sure that others can feel as good and stand up in their right also to be allowed to exist the way it was meant to be.
Yes.
I mean, I love barter and trade, but I love good old hard cash too.
Yeah. It's all energy exchange,
Exactly. I do know that. And it always isn't always there when we believe we have control and to have expectations of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because it gets in the way.
Oh, yes. I've been there many times in the past. Again, the expectation, this and that, is part of control,
I just have to laugh sometimes. Been there, done that. I mean,
Yeah.
I was a street urchin for many years, and I've lived in my van a year and other things of those nature, so I know the way of what things are. And I did my happy trips and my other high times during those eras, and it didn't hurt. And that's the best part, because I got to make that choice, no matter what it was. And Maybe it was just the rebel in me telling everybody to F off, because I don't see life as the way as what you think it is.
Well, each one of us is different, and we have different missions, At least when in our journey, we need to figure out what is our mission? Serve your purpose. Find your purpose and serve your purpose.
Yes, and we'll get back to that conversation in a couple minutes.
Okay.
Because it's at 2:25 right now. Yeah, the biggest thing is don't take it personal. To me, anyway. Do you do music and all that other stuff? We'll have to get back and answer that question then, because it's now 2:26. Be right back.
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
What the heck is the Truth Jihad? Hey, I'm Kevin Barrett, host of Truth Jihad Radio. Federal prosecutors, Department of Homeland Security agents, and curious passersby often ask me, just what is this Truth Jihad thing anyway? Well, everybody knows what truth is, but jihad is a misunderstood term. Jihad means effort or struggle. The greater jihad is the struggle to be a better person, while the lesser jihad is the struggle to defend the community. Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, did say that the best jihad is a word of truth flung in the face of a tyrant. And that's what we do here at Truth Jihad Radio. Every Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern, 5 to 7 Pacific, right here on Revolution Radio.
We talk about decentralization and then annihilation. Bitcoin, Litecoin, MyCoin, Your Coin, blockchain, baby. Mondays at 1600 hours Eastern, Studio A.
Find some comfort at Willow's World. A variety of news, commentary and poetry at Willow's Poetry Corner, where there are comfy cushions and a tempting selection of delectable comestibles. A show that's quirkily and quintessentially British, with a unique twist featuring Willow Andreasen, your host. Join Willow Mondays and Thursdays 2 till 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Studio A.
February is Heart Month. Every year for the month of February, to show our appreciation to Extendivite's faithful customers, we have a sale. If you would like to try Extendivite, now is the time to get a few months ahead and really give Extendivite the time to show you how it works. Most of Extendivite's long-term customers wait for this sale to stock up. People and doctors tell us about the unbelievable improvements that they have experienced in their overall health, not just the heart. Extendivite wants you to experience the power of these herbs. Get a 4-month supply for only $115 for either the capsules or tincture. Please take advantage of this once-per-year sale and get healthy for life. To order, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com or find us on Amazon.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and FreedomSlips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, FreedomSlips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Alrighty then, we are back here, yes, with Mr. Jeff. I love your mustache.
Oh, thank you.
And the story that you told about finding out about the shungite. I love shungite. I have it everywhere. I wrap copper trees and put them into dream catchers and stuff. They're gorgeous pieces.
Yeah.
I love shungite.
Shungite is amazing.
Well, the bee story has amazed me because I really want to start a hive now.
Yes. Yeah, so you were talking earlier regarding music.
Oh, I love music.
Yeah, me too. I'm still a musician. I consider myself, but I haven't actually played guitar in a while. I used to do a lot of shows, and I used to promote shows.
I know that feeling. I do. We used to do fundraisers, and boy, what a hoot that was. Oh, yeah, getting to know. Yeah, I spent a lot of times in the bars. Not as a drinker, though. I was always designated conscious person because I don't like BS.
Well, I was a functional alcoholic since I was 11. So, I don't even drink coffee now.
I'm a functional cannabis user since 11. Yeah, that helped save my children's life too, besides astrology. But to go into mental health, whoa. That was what got you into thinking you should do mental health.
It was kind of like, my cousin was doing it, and I was really good at it off the bat,
Well, to you, then it was like a mirror where you, like you were saying earlier, is you learned about yourself by the reflection of what you were witnessing.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, this person is depressed, and, that's similar to when I'm internally feelings, So I connect with people in the deeper level. So in everything else, it's a matter of connecting.
Well, it is. But see, you can do the white because you know the dark.
Yeah.
You can't be a real spiritual individual in my world unless you know that there's more than one perspective to each side.
Oh, yes. Yes. The brighter the light, the darker the shadow.
Yeah, well, I would love some real sunshine back. Oh, goodness. Seriously, the garden, it just keeps calling to me. But I think that life is a garden.
Mm-hmm.
And I never knew who I was until the people that I assisted came back and told me how I helped them. Because I was never out to help anybody. I would just spout something off that I was told to say, and okay, and they listened and followed through. And you don't find that a lot with people. That's one thing, too, that I learned through the healing with the herbs is, they just want it handed to them, and they think it's going to be done and over. And it's like, no. So it's not an easy thing you're doing here, honey.
Yeah. It's because I end up teaching, and, in my spiritual growth, when I have a massive growth spurt, it wasn't always pleasant. I was doing all this massive miracles, but then it didn't sustain. I was confused because there's not like a school or something to be where I'm at, So I start questioning God, like, what did you have me doing all this? Because I was confused as my role. See, and that it took me a little bit, but it was like the old saying, "Stop casting pearls to the swine." So when we help people, we have to know what's our role. Then, if you're massively blessing others, they need to be accepting and receptive of the blessings. Number one. Number two, they need to accept the value.
And feel the unconditional too, because you're not doing it with trying to contain somebody, enslave them. You're doing it out of just unconditional love, because it'll also help you feel better, because you're feeling those energies of negativity.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, people doesn't want to do the actual work because they're thinking everything is like a pill. There's no chemical solution for spiritual crisis.
It's an app, honey. Didn't you know that? It's an app.
Got to do the work.
And I love doing the work. And people just have been trained not to want to achieve some kind of effort. If anybody knew the effort it was just to get to 2 o'clock, they wouldn't even realize it. Because that's the way it is. I'm definitely in a different spot of life. And I'm glad that you're out there sharing sunshine and sunflowers, because they need them.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah. And
well, where are you? Are you in California?
I'm like 20 minutes. Yeah, in Southern California, 20 minutes, 30 minutes from LA, and about 20 minutes, 30 minutes in Orange County.
I spent 2 weeks in LA in 2010, and it broke my heart.
Oh, yes. LA could get pretty dark, yeah.
But I got to go from Sacramento up to Eugene, Oregon, and do the whole trip down through the redwoods.
Wow.
For 8 weeks. I was ending my business. I got evicted out of Florida, and I'm like, I need a spiritual journey. So we went to Mount Shasta. And all kinds of other things happened. It could have been, they did. And I'm like, I'm not that way. But to the idea of, I wanted to go to heal the area. I didn't want to be healed. And that was, to me, the adventure, is seeing something that I've never seen before, because I lived in St. Pete, Florida, the other coast, for 50, didn't get out of the state much. And that was just one of those, it had to finally release. But if it is out there today worse than what it was in 2010, we all got to gather hands together and make a difference. Because it's not just us who are at stake here. It's our babies and the babies' babies.
Oh,
babies,
yes.
Babies.
That's why we cannot be complacent.
No. Even do you journal a lot?
I try to. I get quite busy, and I try to, at least voice memos or something. But it's my day is quite. It's full of events, very eventful every day.
Just put a smiley face in the shower mirror, after it steams up, and go on. I used to put Post-it notes everywhere, but it wasn't just for my intent. When I was raising a family. And that's when everything hit me. From 26 on, it was like, oh my gosh, the universe just opened the floodgates. And having my herbal business and doing all that. And I'm glad I didn't have the fear, because it could have been really scary.
Yeah, you're blessed.
I am very blessed. I know it. I do know it, but you cannot help others unless you've been down that road.
Yes. It's a different vibe. It's like you're trying to explain the soul of blues when someone don't have no idea what blues feels like.
Exactly.
When I started learning guitar and trying to do an improvisation, playing blues, you can't play just the scales of blues. You have to put your soul into it, and because people could feel. It's not about the notes. It's a matter of your soul within the note. So what I'm trying to explain to people, it's not a matter of vibration and frequency anymore. What is within that frequency? What is the content? What is the substance? What is the essence?
Well, and if you're going to hold on to it, if it makes you feel anything that doesn't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Like the anger and those ideas and thoughts that aren't yours, because we are more, I don't want to say septic, but it came to mind. About not knowing what's in our own head when we are the creators of our own universes.
Yeah.
So do you feel better that you don't have that parasite of alcohol? I mean, do you really at any time just want to go back, or that lesson? Good. Yeah.
No. Every day it's like a rebirth to me.
Sweet.
It's like peeling a never-ending onion. Yeah, that's the work. That's not. Don't be complacent of peeling and shedding. We gotta be, like seasons. We have to go through it.
Yeah.
Well, you have to be the flame. Like you have. It's like you have to burn all this. Like let's say I assist people to crack their shells. And those shells, well, you have to burn it. You have to become the flame.
Well, and just know that your inner spark does count, because so many people are putting blinders on and shoulda, woulda, couldas, and inhibiting any kind of growth, because nothing really does ever stay the same.
No, everything is dynamic.
Well, even education, I would have known way back when that the spiral of our universe is different than the one they taught us.
Oh, yes.
It's just amazing. No wonder I didn't get all kinds of good grades when I was in regular school. Yes, life does give us those things. And it's also because, like I stated from the beginning, is parents do not nurture their children. They're just possessions and items that they push around to try to think that they're making society better by giving them all of everything.
Well, it's just because it's just, again, I mean, it just goes back to lack of coherence, because they projecting all the stuff that was projected upon them. So they project that to their children, the control, the possessions, and children is not yours. They were given by God or universe, whoever God is to you, just to make sure you just don't mess it up. But most parents do, and it's okay. But as long it's part of the evolution or revolution, however you want to see it. But if you're complacent and you're not actually applying, once you know better, you need to do better.
Right. We don't need to accept the same jargon that went on, like traditions and things like that. Because
and it's okay. It's okay to like, what, yesterday I believed this, and today I just realized I was duped. Admit that you were duped, and it's okay. Get over it.
I know, it's a cosmic haha. Sometimes those are the funnest yahoos.
Yeah.
But I will not back down when I have the knowledge of what my understanding is, okay? Just to the idea of, so what is your heritage?
So I'm mainly Indonesian. I grew up back in Indonesia till I was 17. My mom has part German and Dutch. And I basically grew up in Indonesia until my mom was dying of cancer. As her dying wish, I was her baby, and she asked me to go to the United States and make her proud. So
Sweet.
That was it. So being 17, you left everything you know and then going to a very different world. As that was devastating. I don't look at it as devastating anymore. Everything is a blessing.
Right.
And
that's how you change the past without recognizing that you're changing the past.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know. You healed.
Yes. We have, that's why you need to claim your truth and walk it.
Yeah,
we got to stop faking the funk. Just be.
I like to think make every moment count too.
Well, yeah.
That there is no BS.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we do have our moments, like the day I ended up backing into a tree, and I just really didn't want to ever go there, but it was one of those moments, Mars square Pluto, going, oh, geez. Yeah, we have to be aware of what is everywhere. Sometimes. It doesn't mean you play your feet into it, but, I swear it wasn't there. I checked 3 perspectives. I was reminded. There are many other perspectives, and especially the conditions that happen because we've been having so much rain that our clay is so saturated, it turns into a bad mess. So I couldn't drive off the rocky driveway, but I was like, shoot. I got caught up in those moments, and I don't take it, and it got fixed. It's all good. It's just that we have to let those things go. It was just one of those moments.
Yes.
That the universe was trying to wake us up for something.
Yeah,
oh, goodness.
That's the peeling, right? Peeling part of it. Shedding layers, it is what it is, and we have to keep going.
So what is your concept of forgiveness?
Forgiveness is it's crucial. You can't heal yourself without forgiveness. I think forgiveness is an opportunity. I think forgiveness is massive blessing because you are given the opportunity to heal yourself, heal the past.
Well, like you said earlier, it's reprogramming.
Yes. So by forgiving, you are deprogramming, or I use the expression of dissolving what you were programmed and the program that you were, I say feed or fed, because that's the neurological pathways that you were enhancing. So by forgiving, you are deprogramming and dissolving the neurological pathways. You're creating new neurological pathways.
That is the funnest part to know, actually. The more you are stimulated into creating something that's, you don't want to say always new, but everything is always new.
Yeah.
So fun. That's like having a balloon and with the geriatrics, okay? And you just have them bounce it around to each other just to get them into doing something. It turns into a fun game.
Oh, yes. The most simple, basic stuff,
Blowing bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been known to do crazy things at crazy moments. Just 'cause it's like, come on, people. Life is to play and to party, not to flip and inhibit. Because it just wants to be recognized. So how are you with the fairy realm and all that? Do you carry that part of your metaphysical with you too?
I attract them from once, not once or twice, sometimes. And yeah, they feel different.
Well, how do they come to you?
In human form.
Yeah,
in human form. But it's just something like I could just sense something. They feel airy to me.
Well, they could have a lot of air in their chart too, but I cannot disagree with that.
Yeah, and I was like, it's like, well, you like I would just come off like you don't feel human, like you feel airy. What is this? crack you up. Good.
Oh, yeah, so did that ball. And it's just interesting the different realities of reactions, because when I did the market, I was a marketeer selling the herbs and that. Plus, I had my herb store, so I was working 8 days a week.
Wow.
And raising children at the same time, too. Oh, and making my own ceramic pottery. I mean, I've worked my buns off with a PTSD ex-Vietnam husband. But anyway, those were the most awakening and spiritual times, like you said, when everything hit at once.
Yes.
And the people around me, the ones I needed, were there because we were all going through like a group progression. But the other ones who didn't understand or know these things that were occurring, you know, I couldn't talk to anybody. Well, even as a child, I was a seer and a beer, okay? And then I got people afraid of me when I was young, because I would say something and it would come out, and it's like, oh my gosh, yeah. So I had to hide myself for a long time until I was like 26 years old, when all the rest of that was happening. And I'm talking, I met everything from angels to demons to reptiles to good ones. I might have met a couple of the bad ones later down the road, but everything that was natural upon what I needed to recognize to go further smacked me side of each head.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. And it's a good thing I kind of like knew who I was, but I never wanted attention. But I got wrote up in the paper a few times because I was always the fighter for the earth and the don't put fluoride in the water and things like that. And
yes, bless your soul.
But you learn there should no longer be a battle. These are not the errors and times to battle, because so much blood has already been shed. We need to recycle the energies, the emotions, all of them. I would work with veterans from the Second World War that were stuck. They were stuck there because they were committing murder and they knew it. And it wasn't for a righteous means. And it took a lot of Native American ceremony and things like that for them to see their inner self, to be able to cut the cord and release it. And you could see the change on their face. Just because they were in pain, and I'm too empathetic to be around people who have pain. Hey, we're going to try to fix this. And it's amazing when you can let go. Just your influence to be in a room changes things. You don't have to say anything or anything at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I teach, and that's one of my fundamental teaching is dynamic forgiving. And or I would say forgiving is dynamic, not static. So just because you're forgiven, just because you let go, that's the work is not ending there, because you're going to get tested. You're going to get triggered again.
Countless times do you get it right. Really, it recycles. It'll come back to hit you many times. If you don't
actually continue, there's the reason why you got there to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
There's some compromise energetic fields somehow to another. That's why I use those crystal patches and certain spiritual. When I say spiritual practice, it's more actually of internal spiritual practice. So it's applicable to all beliefs. Okay.
Oh, I give thanks all the time, don't you?
Yes. Like right now, right? I'm with you.
And we got 2 minutes before the top of the hour. You're welcome to stay. I'd really love to have you another hour if you can. But in case you have to go, give people a place where you are doing your work if they want to get a hold of you.
Yes, I do have a lot of stuff to do, and I'm very humbled and honored to be in your show. So basically, you could just contact me on my Facebook, Jeff Mamora. So we could connect there, and I have lots of testimonial from videos and written notes or just just testimonials after testimonials. And I would encourage people to check out my Healing Testimonials album, because each testimonial is a claim of each one's blessing. So it has its own healing vortex, love and light and healing vortex. So when I when I have not got a chance to help someone, just by watching my testimonial videos, a lot of people already get like a boost they needed.
Cool. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. Almost subliminal, but not really. But I don't like much subliminal. All right, Jeff, we're going to be doing the top of the hour break. So I appreciate that you came. You're, like I said, welcome to stay or not, but we'll be right back.
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
Hello, all you good-looking people out there in Revolution Radio. This is Mario. I invite you to join me Thursdays at 6 o'clock for This, That, and the Other. It's a show about you, it's a show about me, but ultimately it's a show where we try to have a little bit of fun. We discuss some quirky topics, and we do our best to be apolitical. So I invite you, put on your favorite pair of comfy sweats, your smoking jacket, and grab a beverage of your choice, and join me Thursday evenings at 6 o'clock for This, That, and the Other on Revolution Radio.
Enter into a world unseen on Raven Star's Witching Hour. You will encounter eclectic topics from the realm of spirit brought into our matrix of truth. With your host, the Solaris Blue Raven. Solaris will bring you an array of unique guests covering topics from ghostly spirits to amazing anomalies, covert technology, UFOs, and shadowy global events.
And that's right here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, Saturdays, midnight till 2 a.m. Eastern Time. Revolution Radio, where information never sleeps.
Let the magic rise.
February is Heart Month. Every year for the month of February, to show our appreciation to Extendivite's faithful customers, we have a sale. If you would like to try Extendivite, now is the time to get a few months ahead and really give Extendivite the time to show you how it works. Most of Extendivite's long-term customers wait for this sale to stock up. People and doctors tell us about the unbelievable improvements that they have experienced in their overall health, not just the heart. Extendivite wants you to experience the power of these herbs. Get a 4-month supply for only $115 for either the capsules or tincture. Please take advantage of this once-per-year sale and get healthy for life. To order, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com or find us on Amazon.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and freedomslips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Welcome back. We're here at freedomslips.com, revolution.radio, and cosmicreality.net. Don't forget we're listener supported, so please do the page donations. Help us. Well, we've got goal, and thank goodness we have Friday as the first that we will be handling here. So the more the merrier. Please don't forget to donate. We also have archives. We also have the heirloom seed packs, mugs, and all kinds of things. So, people gotta quit fighting about it and start changing it. Yes, indeedy, honey, sweetie. Yes, indeedy. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that was scary. I want to say a little astrology right now. We might get to the ugly stuff later. But I like Jeff, so that was good. That was a good hour. Yes, it was. Because he's a nice guy. I like to have a conversation. And for what I've heard, it's amazing of what has happened in his life and with his life. So, let's take a look at the dislikes and likes of each zodiac sign. First, we're going with the likes and then the dislikes. Blessed with a high energy level and a healthy amount of self-confidence, you Aries rule Mars. Mars rules Aries. Likes to be the center of all kinds of activities. When others tell you what to do, they'll scowl or slam the door on you, or slam the front door on your way out. Oh, that doesn't make sense, but whatever. The likes are being physically active, taking the lead, being a trailblazer. Oh, okay. Dislikes waiting, being bossed around, and not getting what they want. Oh, geez, that's interesting. Oh, have you figured out a way to fix that? Taurus. Bulls absolutely love the good life, such as fine food, beautiful clothes, and jewelry. Nothing pushes a Taurus's temper to the edge more than being hurried. Making snap decisions are not their wheelhouse. Yeah, I'll vouch to that. Likes comfort, being surrounded by lovely things, and exploring their senses. Okay, got that. That's cool. Dislikes. Feeling rush, drama, and surprises. That's about right. Yes, no thank y'all. Geminis. Geminis love to explore and have fun, and their infectious thirst for knowledge keeps them on the search for something new. Free-spirited. Geminis struggles to avoid commitment, sometimes unconsciously. It's not because they don't fall in love, they just enjoy their freedom so much. Their likes are storytelling, exploring their curiosity, it's like repeating itself, and traveling. Okay, cool. Their dislikes are feeling tied down, not having an audience, or closed-mindedness. Well, that makes Aries and Gemini almost compatible, right? Cancers. Moon rule Cancer. Oh, Mercury rules Gemini, just in case that wasn't in there, was it? No, Mercury. Jeez. At least keep to the structure of what you're doing. Okay. Cancer. Ruled by the moon. Enjoys domestic bliss like no other. What makes a Cancer scuttle away in the opposite direction is someone who pries into their private life. Their likes are keeping a beautiful home, nurturing loved ones, and being thoughtful. Dislikes are being eavesdropped on. Well, who doesn't? Every sign doesn't want that. Sneakiness and people who are unkind. Well, okay, I can agree to that. Leos. They like to be in the spotlight and to be considered special in some way. They don't like people squabbling over silly things, like who ate the last piece of cheese Danish. Their likes are being admired, spoiling their loved ones, and being generous and helping others. Their dislikes are pettiness, being ignored, and not being able to express themselves. Virgos. Sensible Virgo needs to feel they have control in their own lives. Their keen intelligence allows them to seek and maintain balance. Cluttered closets or garages filled with junk makes them shudder in distaste. Likes having things in order, sense of accomplishment, and helping others. Dislikes dirt, germs, disorder, chaos, drama. I think we all don't like that. Libras. When it comes to sheer charm, Libra wins first prize. They enjoy spending time and money improving their appearance and love relaxing massages. Who doesn't? Libras do their utmost to avoid obnoxious or rude people in any situation. That's right. Except I usually face them. Looking at their best or pampering they like, and like giving and receiving affection. They dislike unfairness, aggression, and bad manners. Okay, well, they just like and dislike them more than the other signs, I guess. Is that it? Scorpio. Fixed sign. Oh, and Libra is ruled by Venus. They didn't tell you that either. Oh, and the sun rules Leo. Moon Cancer, Sun Leo. Virgo, that's a Mercury too. Okay. But Scorpio, it's ruled by Mars and Pluto. They have a cohabitation there. Fixed sign, Scorpios like friends and lovers who can be trusted beyond a shadow of a doubt. That's right. Scorpios especially dislike fake personalities and people who would keep hurtful secrets from them. Ooh. They love solving mysteries and puzzles, deep conversation with a trusted few, a healthy sex life. Dislikes flirty partners, dishonesty, and superficiality. That's right, superficial sucks. I have more planets in Scorpio than I do Taurus. It's interesting. Aquarius. Adventuresome Sagittarius loves their freedom and needs to express themselves as openly as possible. They can't abide dullness in people, relationships at work. Ruled by Jupiter, they want to dream big, not to be told they can't do something. Yep, that's my eldest right here. Independence, loves the outdoors and blunt honesty. Yes, indeed. Dislikes spending time with boring people, repetition, being given limitations. Capricorns. A cardinal earth sign, ruled by Saturn, enjoys the stability of success as well as the administration that often comes with it. They like to proclaim their worldly success in a nonverbal way, but being insufficient and wasteful is a big no-no. Financial and emotional security. They like luxury items and being respected. Dislikes depending on others, wasting money, sloppy work. Yeah, well. Aquarius. Uranus ruled Aquarius is known as one of the friendliest zodiac signs, so it's no surprise they love to socialize. They deserve to be different and dislike any sort of routine or uncharitable attitude towards the less fortunate. They like making friends, expressing your individuality, and brainstorming free thought. Well, some of them do and some of them don't. They dislike being bored, having limitations and being the center of attention. Yes, they do not like the center of attention. But some of them do. I've known Aquariuses that just love to be the center of attention. So the solar signs are just a small part, not a big part, of your whole astrological system. Pisces. Sensitive Pisces loves to be taken care of and nurtured in a relationship, and they give generously in return. On the flip side, heaps of negativity and unnecessary cruelness are a surefire way to annoy the zodiac sign of the fish. Likes being taken care of, giving and receiving affection, seeing the best in people. Dislikes having your feelings ignored, large noisy crowds, and strong selfish people. Yes, I don't like that. Can be a very useful tool to know those things for some reason. Yes. I mean, every one of those goes with everything. And this was one I was going to go to, too. Let's see. Yes, I am. Ancient medicine practices. That's right. Crystals for chronic pain. Oh, I want to know these, definitely. Ancient medicine practices often understood pain to occur as a result of an imbalance in the energy of the body. Crystals have powerful and visible energetic resonance that can help clear the energetic blocks in each chakra and raise our frequency so we can experience less pain. Crystals can be used in conjunction with Reiki. Mine was chiropractor. And I do healing herbs and breath work and meditation and healing oils. That's right. Here are some crystals that are commonly used for symptoms of chronic pain disorders and the properties they have that can help you shift your energy and harmonize your body. That said, your intuition is always your best guide to pick which crystals will help your pain, so pay attention to which crystals you're drawn to instinctively. Tourmaline helps remove energetic blocks by absorbing the negativity in our own and the surrounding energy fields. This crystal is like a sponge for negativity and leaves us feeling lighter and more optimistic. Black tourmaline has been used specifically to reduce muscular and spine-related pain, but if you're exposed to electronics, it's particularly high due to your work or lifestyle. Black tourmaline also helps clear electromagnetic frequencies that can cause muscular pain. That's a thought. Malachite. It's really a pretty stone, too. The malachite crystal helps transform your energy and elevate your frequency. Many crystal healers advise people to use this who suffer from chronic ailments, because it's said to remove impurity and toxins. It helps to build the force energy, prana, and can help you see more clearly what is not needed in your life that may be causing chronic pain. Malachite is also known to help your immune system reduce PMS symptoms and lower blood pressure. It's good for arthritis and many other diseases. Well, that's cool. I wish I had a crystal store closer. Blue kyanite. Blue kyanite, Cyanite, helps to protect your energetic aura field from negative energies that may be affecting your physical health. This beautiful light blue crystal is probably best known for conducting healing energy and can be placed on the area that's in pain during meditation to ease the energetic knots creating discomfort. This is why many refer to the blue kyanite as the healer stone. It works to balance your energy so that if chakra is blocked, if your energy can begin to flow and your pain can be dissipated. The power balancing crystal does not absorb negative energy, so it doesn't need to be cleaned. Okay, same with sugar. Rose quartz. It'll help your thyroid associated with the heart chakra, which regulates hormones. The pretty pink crystal improves heart health and can help loosen knots of anger that has been caused physical pain in the body. Often, if anger doesn't have an outlet or isn't recognized, it will be translated subconsciously into a physical pain. In a weak point of the body, such as the former injury. The healing of rose quartz starts on an emotional and energetic level, but can be certainly help reduce symptoms of chronic pain because of its ability to help us overcome trauma. I love rose quartz. Gee. Selenite. Known for having its highest energetic frequencies of all crystals, selenite is another self-cleansing crystal that doesn't absorb negative energy. It's frequently used to keep the spine in alignment after back injuries. Selenite purifies its surrounding environment of electromagnetic frequencies that can help strain your physical health by generating negative ions that balance your energy fields. This crystal is great for removing energetic blockages in your body, thereby reducing muscle soreness or pain. Howlite. It's a white stone. If you have hypertension, high stress, or anxiety that could be the source of your chronic pain, howlite is known to have almost sedative effects, calming the mind and the body. Howlite soothes your nerves by removing energetic toxins from your environment and allows for a deeper, more restorative sleep. Oh, I definitely need that. If you feel pain in your neck and shoulders, yes, and back from muscle tension, howlite can loosen your muscles up and help your connective tissues relax. That's a thought. That's right. That is the thought. Is there a healing crystal for each sign? I like that article, though. That was pretty decent. I love these points. Look at these points. Ah, they're gorgeous. Have you ever wondered what your zodiac sign compatibility is with healing crystals? Each astrological sign has a certain weakness that can be improved upon to bring about a more well-rounded, self-aware person. And crystals can help. If we're prone to a bad temper, for example, certain crystals can help us remain calm. If we're known to be lazy, we can use crystals to help generate more energy. Healing is a term that can be best understood as bringing harmony. Using crystals to build up the areas that are the weakest in us can help us be much more resilient and balanced. You could even use this list to find gifts for your loved ones or yourself. Crystals are great for setting positive intentions, and they carry certain frequencies that can boost energies we want to magnify in our lives. Aries. This sign is one that can have trouble slowing down because Aries has so much energy. This could lead to getting caught up in the world and not taking time to listen to your soul. You might find yourself caught up in something you aren't truly invested in. A crystal can help slow the fast pace of Aries as a blue lace agate because it's soothing and reduces hyperactivity in the mind. Crystals known to help connect to spiritual realms can also be helpful as well as hematite, the black grounding crystal. Taurus. Known to fall easily into laziness, loving to indulge sometimes a little too much. Taurus has used their zodiac sign compatibility with crystals to help increase willpower and motivation. One of the most well-known crystals for getting yourself to go for things is tiger's eye. It's often used by people starting businesses who need extra energy and confidence. It also helps strengthen your willpower. housed in the solar plex chakra. Gemini. The air sign is talkative and curious, which can lead to anxiety and scattered thinking. Fluoride is absolutely a must for this sign because of its ability to help you focus on one thing at a time. Hematite is another stone that could be essentially for getting and staying grounded and helping Geminis put those ideas that come naturally into action. Cancers. One of the biggest challenges for the nurturing Cancerian is setting healthy boundaries. They love helping others and will often go overboard trying to take care of everyone. The gray stone is to help. This natural healer is a blue kyanite. Because Cancer is a water sign, they are extremely empathic, and pick up on the emotions of others. This crystal protects your energy field, creating a protective shield so you don't get drained. Leos. The high energy sign can often be blinded by their own optimism. Leo's emotions run so strong that you can even deceive yourself out of sheer excitement. Your ego can misguide you easily, so your zodiac sign compatibility with crystals focus on grounding spiritual truth into your consciousness, which is essential to your journey and protection. Labradorite, known as the mystic stone, helps cut through illusions that gullible Leo can fall prey to and bring spiritual truth to the wearer. Virgo. The hardworking perfectionist Virgo can easily become anal retentive, meaning that they get so bogged down in the details that they never finish anything or become obsessed to a point of anxiety. This anxiety and overthinking can be calmed by howlite, which can ease an overactive mind with its ability to absorb anger, frustration, and negativity plaguing the wearer. Libras. As an air sign, Libras can have trouble with overactive minds. They can benefit from crystals that help relinquish unwanted thoughts. Librans want to be happy, so they often get caught up in other people's minds. Sapphires releases mental tension and unwanted thoughts, grounding the wearer so you can regain back that balance. Scorpio, the intense water sign, can dive straight into the depths of other people's intense emotions and feelings because it's that nature. You look beneath the surface. Scorpio, you can benefit greatly by using crystals that transmute negative energy to positive, such as Apache tears, which relieve depression and protect you from inner darkness. Sagittarius. The adventuresome fire sign suffers from being over spontaneous, sometimes because they desire to expand and explore. They can lead to all sorts of unwanted effects, such as financial woes, or finding themselves very far away from home with no clear way back in order to bring practicality into your very strong visionary personality. A crystal like jasper, which comes in many varieties, provides grounding and stability because it connects to earth energy. Capricorn. So you often suffer from being a workaholic. This can lead to a life of misery. If you aren't able to curtail your desire to successfully take the time to need to rest, because Capricorn is an earth sign and naturally grounded, crystals that anchor in spiritual vibrations of the crown chakra can help them find balance, such as celestite, celestite. Aquarius, I haven't heard of that. Aquarius, humanitarian sign. Aquarius push themselves to a point of exhaustion for the benefit of the greater good. You often feel the need to sacrifice your own pleasures in the pursuit of ideas. Rose quartz can help Aquarians develop unconditional self-love to help you stay balanced and not forget about your own needs and relaxation. Pisces. Pisces are known to change plans frequently and somewhat unreliable because they are easily influenced by their emotional state. They can get lost in fantasy with their strong imagination and look to escape their emotions through substances. In order to not lose their emotions, control their lives, a water sign like this can use a crystal such as malachite, which pulls negative energy from the body, leaving you more open to dealing with your emotions. Alrighty then, be right back.
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
What the heck is the truth, Jihad? Hey, I'm Kevin Barrett, host of Truth Jihad Radio. Federal prosecutors, Department of Homeland Security agents, and curious passersby often ask me, just what is this truth jihad thing anyway? Well, everybody knows what truth is, but jihad is a misunderstood term. Jihad means effort or struggle. The greater jihad is the struggle to be a better person, while the lesser jihad is the struggle to defend the community. Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, did say that the best jihad is a word of truth flung in the face of a tyrant. And that's what we do here at Truth Jihad Radio. Every Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern, 5 to 7 Pacific, right here on Revolution Radio.
We talk about decentralization and bank annihilation. Bitcoin, Litecoin, MyCoin, Yourcoin, blockchain, baby. Mondays at 1600 hours Eastern, Studio A.
Find some comfort at Willow's World. A variety of news, commentary and poetry at Willow's Poetry Corner, where there are comfy cushions and a tempting selection of delectable comestibles. A show that's quirkily and quintessentially British, with a unique twist featuring Willow Andreasen, your host. Join Willow Mondays and Thursdays 2 till 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Studio A.
February is Heart Month. Every year for the month of February, to show our appreciation to Extendivite's faithful customers, we have a sale. If you would like to try Extendivite, now is the time to get a few months ahead and really give Extendivite the time to show you how it works. Most of Extendivite's long-term customers wait for this sale to stock up. People and doctors tell us about the unbelievable improvements that they have experienced in their overall health, not just the heart. Extendivite wants you to experience the power of these herbs. Get a 4-month supply for only $115 for either the capsules or tincture. Please take advantage of this once-per-year sale and get healthy for life. To order, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com or find us on Amazon.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and FreedomSlips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, FreedomSlips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
We have all kinds of things that just seem out of control. I'd like to think that we could all take control and change the way of the things of what the world has become. But I cannot say yea or unless that little girl knows. Guess I'd have to look. But I'm on air, so the dog can bark. Yes, figure it out, dog. What you doing? What's going on? Alrighty. This just doesn't seem fair to me, but then what is fair sometimes? It's all a state of mind, right? Let's see, this was February 26th, and today's the 27th, so this came out yesterday. Okay, where'd it go? Okay, the title, Monsanto, judge threatens to shut down cancer patient's lawyer. Now, I don't get that. If there was already a settlement, how can you shut that down? The judge and Roundup makers' first federal trial has banned discussion of the company's alleged manipulation of science. Monsanto is facing its first federal trial over allegations that Roundup weed killer has caused cancer, but the U.S. judges blocked attorneys from discussing the corporation's alleged manipulation of science. Okay. Why did I have to read that twice? An extraordinary... Well, because they said it twice in two different ways. It's really peculiar sometimes, just to take up a page. In an extraordinary move in packed San Francisco courtroom on Monday, U.S. Judge Vince Cabrera threatened to sanction and shut down a cancer patient's attorney for violating his ban on talking about Monsanto's influence on government regulators and cancer research. You've completely disregarded the limitations that were set upon you, the visible angry judge said to attorney Almi Wagstaff, threatening to prevent her from continuing. If you cross the line one more time, your opening statement will be over. If I see a single inappropriate thing on those slides, I'm shutting you down. Shh. The unusual conflict in the federal courtroom has fueled concerns among Monsanto critics that trial may be unfairly stacked against the plaintiff. That's what it seems like they're trying to do. Edwin Hardman, a 70-year-old Santa Rosa man who alleges that his exposure to Roundup on several decades caused his cancer. Building on long-standing allegations, Hardman's lawyers and other critics have argued that Monsanto for years suppressed negative studies and worked to promote and ghostwrite favorable studies about its herbicide to influence the public and regulators. Well, in a blow to the plaintiff, Cabarabra, the judge, this year approved Monsanto's request to prohibit Hazelman's attorneys from raising allegations about the corporation's conduct, saying issues about its influence on science and government were significantly distractions. That means jurors must narrowly consider the studies surrounding Roundup's cancer risks, and if they rule that Monsanto caused Hardman's illness, then in a second phase, the jury would learn about the company's conduct when assessing the liability and punitive damages. Harderman's trial is considered the bellwether case for hundreds of other federal plaintiffs who have made similar claims, meaning its outcome could have an impact on the course of the future litigation and potential settlements. The high-stakes case comes in growing global scrutiny of the health impacts of glyphosate, which is sold under the Roundup brand. Concerns about the product escalated last August after a California jury issued an historic verdict saying Monsanto was liable for a terminally ill man's cancer and owed him $289 million in damages. The groundbreaking ruling Monsanto set the stage for a new wave of cancer litigation in the U.S. and sparked regulatory debates and campaigns to restrict the chemical across the globe. That's right, do them suckers in. Monsanto, and they'll just change the name and put it in another product. See, they need to stop. They need to be stopped. Monsanto is now owned by a German pharmaceutical company, Bayer, which suffers a 30% share price drop after the verdict is now facing more than 9,000 similar lawsuits across the country. Wagstaff said to The Guardian that last week before that trial began that the limitations on evidence in the first phase meant the jury will only hear half of the story. The jury will hear about the science, but they won't get to hear about the influence, she said. The jury won't have a complete understanding of the science. If we win without the jury knowing the complete science, that's a real problem for Monsanto. Chahabara, judge, repeatedly interrupted Wagstaff's opening statement Monday morning, reminding jurors that her comments did not constitute evidence and should be taken with a grain of salt. He also asked her to speed up when she was introducing Hardman and his wife and discussing how they first met. Okay. Wagstaff spoke in detail about the research on cancer and glyphosate, about some Monsanto's involvement in studies, and about the company's communications with Environmental Protection Agency. Eventually, the judge ordered the jury to take a break and issued his threat to sanction Wagstaff, though it was unclear which specific statement he had opposed. When she tried to clarify her remarks, nothing that she said clearly made the judge upset. But he responded, "It's not about being upset. It's about running an orderly trial." Shh. And we'll see. Somebody must have done a good job the first trial. Then he ordered her to file a written motion by the end of the day, arguing he should not sanction her, and said he was considering a fine of $1,000. The judge also said he didn't trust her to continue using her prepared materials. Should I save Miss Wagstaff from herself by barring her further the use of slides? He ultimately allowed her to finishing her opening statement. He ended the day again by attacking her opening remarks, saying her statements were incredibly dumb. Hardman, who sat in court with his wife, has alleged that the use of his Roundup starting in 1986 to control poison oak and weeds on his property caused him to develop non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, a cancer that affects the immune system. The case builds on a key ruling by the World Health Organization International Agency for Research on Cancer that glyphosate was probably carcinogen to humans. Based on review of existing research, Monsanto continues to argue that Roundup is safe, citing other BS studies. I put the BS in there. The company has also suggested that Harderman's hepatitis C could be a possible cause of his cancer. Brian Zeskoff, Monsanto's attorney, described the NHL as a common cancer. Okay, that's right. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Noted Hartman's use of Roundup in his medical records. As he noted that doctors have not specifically noted it. Well, because we were all led to think it was safe, you dummy. Oh my gosh. Anyway. Oh, we're being bamboozled and taken out slowly. A Bayer spokesman said in a statement Monday that the extensive body of science research supports the conclusions that Roundup is not responsible for his illness, and noted the EPA's 2017 assessment finding that glyphosate was not likely to be carcinogenic to humans, even though it is to other things. Okay? Okay? So if it is with them, it should be with us. We all live in the same biosphere. You get that? Yeah? Does that make sense? The EPA previously faced backlash when the emails revealed the agency's closed communication with Monsanto. Hardman, who was diagnosed with an aggressive form of HNL in 2015, he remained dedicated to the lawsuit, even though it was taking a toll on him emotionally and physically. Wagstaff said in his interview before the trial, "It's really important for him to do this now. He's a man with high integrity. When you see some of the ways Monsanto has manipulated the science and robbed him of his choices, it's pretty ingenious. Horrible." Dwayne Johnson, a former school grounds teacher who won the landmark victory last year when jurors ruled that Monsanto failed to warn him of the health hazards from exposure to Roundup, had acted with malice or oppression, and was responsible for negligent failure. A judge later reduced the damages to $78 million, but rejected Monsanto's appeal to overturn the verdict. Johnson's case presented internal documents that his lawyer said revealed the ways Monsanto had bullied scientists with critical findings. The restrictions on testimony about Monsanto's conduct and alleged manipulation of science is likely to be a major detriment to Hardman and future plaintiffs, said Gene M. Egan, professor Media of Wider University, Delaware School. It was a brilliant move on the part of the defendant, Bayer, to try to keep out of all that information, she said, and it paid them off for it. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Just jeez. Okay. Yeah, that was just a bite. Yep. This was an interesting article. Oh, is it going to not let me? No, I don't want to subscribe. Oh, I bet they were glyphosated too. A cremated cancer patient contaminated Arizona's crematorium with radioactive cognigen. Radiation contamination at crematoriums has become more widespread problem in the United States. What does that mean? A new study determined that a cremated man who was treated for cancer shortly before his death is the source of radioactive contamination at an Arizona crematorium. Although medical professionals have always acknowledged possible risks associated with cremating cancer patients who underwent radiation therapy or were tested with radiopharmaceuticals, it has rare for a crematorium to have been tested positive for radioactive contamination. But the Mayo Clinic's Department of Diagnostic Radiology in Phoenix, Arizona, Leaked into a case study involving a 69-year-old male cancer patient who received intravenous radioactive treatment, Lutrin-177 Doliate, whatever that means. It's just poison. Last year for an uncommon tumor located in his pancreas. 2 days after the patient began treatment and started feeling more ill, checked into a hospital, separate from where he was receiving radiation therapy, and suddenly died. The hospital where he died reportedly did not notify the crematorium about his radiation treatment. 5 days later, he was cremated at the faculty, so he's laying there. Once the Mayo Clinic researchers learned about the case, they contacted the Arizona Bureau of Radiation Control to ask whether there are regulations or protocols in the event of situations like these. It turns out that there is no federal regulation when it comes to what to do with the body of a patient exposed to radioactive material in medicine, either for diagnosis or treatment. Interesting. The Bureau then sent personnel to survey the crematorium and equipment used to cremate the body, including the oven, vacuum filter, and bone crusher. Using the Geiger counter, an instrument used to detect and measure radiation, the equipment tested positive for radiation with the maximum exposure of 7.5 mR per hour. According to Gizmo, the rate is nearly 200 times the average radiation experienced by people living at sea level. But still, oh my gosh. Kevin Nelson, a co-author of the study, said radiation exposure decreases rapidly with distance. So fortunately, the crematorium operator would not have received that high-level exposure from standing in the room. He also said lutetium also decays into non-radioactive elements, which means there would be no detectable level of radiation after 2 months. The study researchers also took a sample of the crematorium's operator's urine to test whether or not they've been exposed to the radioactive lutetium from the deceased patient's treatment. Their test results showed that the operator had none in his urine, but found traces of radiopharmaceutical treatment. Nathan Yun, the study's lead author of the residence physician at Arizona's Radiation Oncology Department, told BuzzFeed News the researchers were specifically testing for the lutetium in the case study, but discovered that an operator's urine suggested the radioactive contamination at the crematoriums was a more prevalent problem. Jeez. Yeah, so they found it? I don't... Is that what it said? It said it had no. And then in the second paragraph it said it did. So maybe one had it and one didn't. That's interesting. Since technetium, technetium, is common for cancer treatment, and that operator is not used in any form of medical treatment research, believe it could be exposed to it from handling it and cremating another body. There's a lot of people dying of this. That's interesting. All at the same age, etc. Safety regulations are well established for radiopharmaceuticals in living patients, but they present a unique post-mortem safety challenge, you said. This is often because cremating a patient exposed to radiopharmaceuticals may release the particles in the air and then inhaled by the crematory workers. That makes sense. The study findings reveal an alarming problem regarding cremation of patients who received radiopharmaceutical treatment, since the cremation rate in the United States is now over 50%. Since there are no federal regulations when it comes to cremating patients exposed to the radiopharmaceuticals, communication is essential in preventing radioactive contamination at crematorium facilities and to their workers. But unfortunately, in this case study, communication did not happen. That's sad. Yep, left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. Interesting. Yes, very interesting. Whoops. Something happened. No. Just timed out for some strange reason. Yeah, why'd that happen? 'Cause life happens. Very strange how life happens. But it's all good, no matter what, especially that hummingbird, so cute. Yes. If we only had a choice. And we do. That's the whole thing. When we learn that we are making and choosing, no matter what. Yep. Yep. I know. I just don't have a sheet to get off of it. The vaccinations and the other stuff like that just is out to get us. And then you got to worry about if you're in a crematory or whatever. Oh my gosh. That is just weird. That is just really weird. But that's the way it goes. Yep, it's what they've taught people, that's the way it goes. Our planet isn't dying because regular people won't go vegan or only take cold showers. It's dying because a handful of corporations and billionaires profit from pumping astronomical amounts of pollution into the air, the water, and the land. That's right. Yep, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said that. So, and I agree with him, but he doesn't get much where it works. Oh, I'll have to maybe do this one tomorrow. We'll see. How to pretend to be indoctrinated enough to fit in with mainstream society. That's too funny. Yeah, that's too funny. You never know. Depends on what kind of place you're going to, right? I mean, honestly. Yep. That depends. What is this? Maybe this is a quick one. Yeah. Cinnamon and honey, the most powerful remedy that doctors can't even explain. Well, because they don't know. Nope, I have a little friend that's going in to have his tonsils and adenoids taken out. It messed up my daughter's life, so don't ever get your shh. I'm going with all my parts that I know of. So, oh gosh. More cinnamon and honey. That's how badly beaten up society is. Just letting honey and cinnamon are two of the amazing natural substances. Nunny. That was natural honey put together. Which hasn't been heated and an excellent raw ingredient for your health. Cinnamon is one of my favorite spices and okay. The reason why cinnamon is one of the top 14 foods and spices that can control type 2 diabetes. Now remember, everything it says entertainment use only. I'm only reading it off of another page. Since most of us have cinnamon and honey readily available in the kitchen cupboard, it's good potential to protect your family from diabetes with these life-changing process. Honey helps to control a number of the factors that has been linked to type 2 diabetes, including insulin resistance and blood sugar levels. It can help regulate sugar levels, which is a critical factor in controlling diabetes or preventing it, and is more tolerable than most common sugars or sweeteners, according to the International Journal of Biological Sciences. For people whose diabetes is under control, consuming honey in small amounts should not cause blood glucose to spike dramatically. But remember that moderation is a key as a part of a healthy and balanced diet. Cinnamon is also excellent for preventing and treating diabetes, according to the Mayo Clinic. A quarter teaspoon twice a day improves the individual's ability to regulate blood sugar levels. The Journal of Diabetes Research confirmed that cinnamon tea helps regulate blood sugar levels after meals. Well, I'll just have to post this in chat and say thank you all for joining me today on the 27th of February. Stay blessed and later.
Listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
February is Heart Month. Every year for the month of February, to show our appreciation to Extendivite's faithful customers, we have a sale. If you would like to try Extendivite, now is the time to get a few months ahead and really give Extendivite the time to show you how it works. Most of Extendivite's long-term customers wait for this sale to stock up. People and doctors tell us about the unbelievable improvements that they have experienced in their overall health, not just the heart. Extendivite wants you to experience the power of these herbs. Get a 4-month supply for only $115 for either the capsules or tincture. Please take advantage of this once-per-year sale and get healthy for life. To order, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com or find us on Amazon.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and freedomslips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host. Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message. Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. Any commercial advertising you may hear in this program is of the sole